Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all doing well and having a fantastic week. In today's video, I wanted to share my experience with you and give you my honest thoughts about what it's really been like rescuing parrots. Now, if you don't know and you're new to my channel, I have 5 parrots. I have Chip and Fish, who were from a breeder, and that was the right choice for us then. And then we have 3 green-cheeked conures. We've got Pickles here, Scampi just out of shot, and Olive as well. And they're all the same species, but their rescue journeys have been all very different with how they have adapted and all those kinds of things. So I wanted to share our experiences with you because I've seen a few things online recently. I've seen some people who are like, rescuing a bird is the most incredible thing and they're going to love you straight away and be so grateful that you've rescued them. And then I've seen, conversely, you know, people saying, oh, I wouldn't even consider rescuing, it's so much hard work, they always have behaviour problems. And I wanted to show you what's been going on with our birds, what it's actually been like, and be really honest with you guys. And hopefully you can make the decision to rescue a bird as well, because it is super rewarding, and parrots are one of the most rehomed types of pets in the world. And that's because they're hard work, there's no denying it. Even a parrot without any, you know, problems or behavioural difficulties, whatever it may be, they're still hard work. They require a lot of care and attention. So I wanted to share our stories with our babies with you. And when I say the word rescue, I know some people are a bit funny about it. I'm using it interchangeably with adopting, rehoming, rescuing. It's all the same thing. Our birds have all been passed from pillar to post throughout their lives, and now they have a forever home with us. So we have had Pickles for 2.5 years, and we've had Scampi and Olive for just over a year. So their kind of stories are more of like an update post, because I know some of you guys followed us from when we actually rehomed them last year on my channel. So let's get straight into Pickles and her journey. So we have shared all of the birds' kind of journeys and like backstories on the channel, but I'll give you a brief overview of each one. Pickles is a cinnamon green-cheek conure, and we found her kind of by accident. We went to the place where we got Chip and Fish from because we were considering adding a bird to our flock. We were originally thinking of kakarikis, but we went in there and we were just having a little look around, and we walked past a little bird cage. Pickles does not want to be in shot for the story. We walked past a little bird cage and there was little Pickles P. Now I walked past because at the time we weren't even really considering conures. We were going in with the idea that we were going to get kakarikis, but David walked past and Pickles pretty much chose him. She went straight up to the bars and demanded scritches, and we just fell in love instantly. And then she ended up coming home with us. Now she had 2 homes previously, again kept in quite a small cage. I'm sure that the person had good intentions, but she didn't really have the best start and the best kind of diet and attention. She did come to us on an all-seed diet, but that was basically her story. Now, we already had Chip and Fish when we got Pickles, and we did the usual kind of quarantine stuff when you bring a bird home, and then she came into the bird room as it is now. And do you know what? Her journey was awesome. She has been absolutely good as gold. She is the most gentle conure I've ever met, apart from when she gets a little bit hormonal and bites my ears. But generally speaking, she is so gentle, so loving, so cuddly, so friendly as well. And she has been an absolute dream. We have had very few behavioural challenges with her. We didn't really have much of a challenge converting her onto a healthy diet. She loves her training. She loves flying once she kind of got those muscles built up. And she's been incredible. And if I came to you just saying, hey, get a bird, go and rescue a bird because, you know, we got Pickles and it was super easy and she was wonderful, I would be, you know, lying to you, because not every experience is going to be like that. That was Pickles' experience and her journey, and we were very grateful that she was finding it very easy to adapt into our flock and onto a much kind of healthier lifestyle. But with Scampi and Olive, their journeys were slightly different, weren't they? He's busy just snacking, and I've put some treats in there to kind of keep him quiet throughout this video, and he's like, yeah, here we go, he's here, Scampi, let's talk about how you came into our lives. So again, for those of you who don't know, Scampi Doo here was from a parrot charity called Safe Haven Parrot Refuge, and we took him on. We are his 4th home, and with all of our conures, they all had multiple homes before they were even 1 year old. I think that's really sad, but it is accurate to how often birds are rehomed. But as with all our birds here, they are in our forever home now, so they don't have to worry about being passed around. They are going to be staying with us for the rest of their lives. So with Scampi, he was originally with somebody who I don't think really had the time for him, so he was passed to somebody else, and eventually he found his way to us. Now, when Scampi came to us, if you saw his kind of introduction video, he was a screamer. He would scream all day and all night, all throughout quarantine, and also when he was introduced into the flock. I was told as well when he was at the rescue, he would scream all day, all night as well. So that's kind of sad, but I'm pleased to say that we have fully overcome that now. Obviously birds are noisy, there's no denying that, but he is so much better with it. He will make noises to communicate, but he doesn't, you know, scream. He doesn't have the separation anxiety he used to as well, because when he first came to us, he did not want to be apart from us, but we have worked on creating his independence, and he is just an absolute bundle of joy. Apart from when he bites. I should also say as well, if you didn't know, Scampi is a yellow-sided green cheek conure. But yeah, when he first came to us, wow, was he a biter, and he did not know how to control his bite force. He would bite in every opportunity, and yeah, it was very challenging, because if you've ever been bitten by a conure, or any parrot really for that matter, you'll know it hurts. And when they're putting all their bite force on, you're going to be bleeding, you're going to be breaking the skin. So it was challenging. So although Scampi was very friendly when he first came to us, he did have these kind of miscommunications with us, and not being able to feel like he could express what he wanted to say, or displeasure in something, because his body language and behaviour had not been respected in his previous home. So we had to teach him that it's okay, you can tell us you don't like something, but you need to tell us in the right way for you and for us. And luckily we have achieved that, and I'm so proud of how far he's come. He's going to go on the floor now and go and bonk the purifier. But yeah, we are so proud of how far he's come, and it took, I think, about 7 or 8 months to be able to introduce him to Pickles. You may have seen on David's channel, Pickles and Scampi, the two that I've just shown you, are a bonded pair now. They are very much in love, and it's adorable. They are both not DNA sexed, but we believe that Scampi is a male based on his behaviour. Pickles we're on the fence about, but because we manage their behaviour and are very strict with hormone management, we don't have any risk of breeding, and they are very loving. I should also point out that even though they are bonded, they both absolutely relish interaction and communication with me and David. There has been no change there. They both love us and each other, and that's one of the most amazing things about being able to pair him up with the same bird of his species, be able to get that tactile communication, the social need that he needs as a very social species, but he also relishes that communication with us as well. They both come for cuddles to us, or they go to separate people's. Pickles will go to David, Scampi will come to me, and we'll have lovely cuddles, and that hasn't changed. So that's been amazing. And his biting has been so much more improved, his screaming has been so much more improved. So while we had a really tricky kind of, I'd say about 6 months of rehabilitation with trust and bonding and shaping his behaviour, he's just an absolute dream now, and he's really blossomed into such a wonderful bird. He loves his flying. We cannot keep him still. We fly him all around the house, and it's amazing. One day I would love to free fly him. Can't do that at the moment for a variety of reasons. For example, we haven't got a car. There are so many birds of prey in our current area, all that kind of stuff, but it's on the cards. But they get so much kind of exercise here that it's absolutely fine, and the birds are going crazy. He's flying around now. If you're wondering how to give your bird exercise in the home, I do have a video on that which might help you out with kind of making sure that your birds are being active and moving. But yes, over a year later, Scampi is an absolute dream. He loves his healthy food, he loves being active, he loves his toys, he loves his cuddles with both us and with Pickles. But the initial process was very challenging, and it was difficult even for someone like me. I've got 12 years of working professionally with birds. It's difficult, but we got over those hurdles, and we are so pleased to see how far he's come. But that's Scampi's story. And now we're going to move on to baby Olive and her journey, because that has been very different to these guys who are being really noisy. So I was just about to get Olive out, so the lighting's different while I was trying to get her out, but I thought I'd just show you how he loves to cuddle, he loves to play my hair. You may have seen in some of my other videos, he loves to kind of groom me during the video. But yeah, he's an absolutely incredible little bird. But he was definitely a lot of work compared to Pickles. So that's two of the same species, but two very different journeys. So now we are going to move on to talk about little baby Olive. So Olive is a turquoise green cheek conure. She's very adorable, but she has had a very different journey to Scampi and Pickles. Now Olive isn't super keen on sitting on my hand for a really long period of time, so I'm going to kind of manage her behaviour while I'm talking, and I'll pop her onto the stand if she's not very comfortable. But Olive has had a couple of homes before us, again, all under a year old. She came to us last year, and her journey has been very different. She was originally kept in a tiny cage, and her wings were clipped, and she never came out, and of course on an all seed diet. Then she moved somewhere with a larger cage, but pretty much all cotton toys and cotton rope perches, and she was touched all over all the time without her say so she was stroked all over her body. So the person who had her before was stroking her all over her body, and she didn't like that. And this disrespect of body language and trust has led to a lot of challenges that we have been dealing with over the last year. I'll start with the most surprising one. I'm going to put her on here, I think. I'm going to go on there. Just pop her on the stand there, you can see her beautiful colours. I'll start with the most surprising challenge that we have found over the last year or so, which was when she first came to us, she was actually scared of the dark. So for a while she was kept in a pet shop, which was the second place that she was in. And to my understanding, she was left from about 5 p.m. in the evening until about sort of 10 o'clock the next day in darkness in the shop. So I don't think that was particularly pleasant for her. So when she came to us, she could not sleep in the dark. She would not sleep with the night light. We had to have a lamp on and then slowly wean her off of it until she could sleep in a similar kind of darkness to everybody else. So that was really challenging. Because it meant that she couldn't, after the quarantine period, stay in the bird room overnight. She had to come in with us, and then we didn't get any sleep, and then she was playing with her toys at 4 in the morning because she wouldn't sleep. High five! Good girl! So that was really challenging. The next thing as well is she was a biter, and when I said Scampi bit hard, that was nothing compared to baby Olive. She will latch on and not let go and really hurt you quite badly. So for a very inexperienced person getting a rescue bird for the first time, Olive would be a really big challenge because she has a lot of challenging behaviours. She would also scream, spin, yeah, good girl. And she would have similar kind of separation anxieties. Every time we would leave the room, she would get very anxious, scream for us, that kind of thing. But again, we are very lucky that we have overcome that now, and she does not have that same kind of anxiety. If you can hear any screaming in the background, it's because Pickles and Scampi are jealous that she's getting all these lovely tasty snacks and all this attention. Now with Olive, when we first got her, we had to sleeve our hand. So we had to pull our jumper over our sleeve so that she could step up, because she was very angry about bare skin, presumably from all that touching. So any open bare skin, she would bite us really hard. I know you want to keep waving to everyone, you're so beautiful. So we also transitioned onto a point where we would have a long perch sticking out of our sleeved hand, so she could step up onto the perch. So again, it wasn't too dissimilar to being in her house. But one of the other things that we found challenging with Olive is she does not like the other birds. She doesn't mind chip and fish too much, and I think going forward we're going to see if we can not necessarily bond, but perhaps tolerate chip and fish, aren't we? Which will be really interesting to see, because she doesn't go for them like she does with Pickles and Scampi. Obviously they're more of like a bonded pair, so there's always going to be a slight bit of kind of territorial behaviour and things, but they just hate each other. And when you might be able to see, I can't see if you can see over that side, when she comes out, they do have to put a thin towel on top of Pickles and Scampi's cage, because if she lands up there, they will try and bite her toes, and that would not be something we want to do. So we have to manage our outings very strictly to make sure everyone gets lots of time out and about. But it does mean that we have to be super careful when any of the birds are out to make sure that they don't hate each other and hurt each other. So it's definitely a challenge, and I think sometimes it's portrayed online that, you know, you just get all these rescue parrots and suddenly they're all going to live together as a flock, and it doesn't always work like that. You have to put in lots and lots of work. You know, as I said, we've had Olive for a year now, and she still has a huge way to go with her rehabilitation. She's definitely not at the ultimate point like Pickles and Scampi are, where she's super gentle, because sometimes she will just flip and she will bite. She gets very overstimulated very easily. It doesn't take much, and she has some very subtle triggers, and she will then bite. We're very good at noticing it now, but sometimes she will just flip with little warnings, so we've got a long way to go there. I really would love at some point in the future to get her to the point where she can tolerate other birds, so that we can get her a friend. I'd love another green cheek, maybe a pineapple or a wild type. I think that'd be really cool to see if we can bond her up with another bird who needs a home. But again, that bird may need lots of rehabilitation too. So it's all kind of maybes and hopefullys at the moment, but that is definitely our goal. We would love for her to have a companion, but we know that she's not ready right now. I've had lots of questions like, well, why haven't you got a friend for Olive? She would not cope well with a friend right now because of how we've seen how she behaves around other birds. She's very happy in herself, and she does still get some kind of social communication from the others, because if we take them out of the room, she'll call to them, and it's very cute, and she doesn't mind sitting near them, but any kind of contact without a barrier, and it's a no-no. We're still working on both Pickles and Scampi and Chip and Fish with her, but it's going to take as long as it takes. I'm not going to put a time frame on it. We'll just work with her. But this is an example of how getting a rescue bird isn't, you know, just all, you know, smiles and songs and cuddles and everything. Olive has had a really difficult journey. And something I really am pleased to say about baby Olive is, although she came to us on an all-seed diet, she now loves her fresh food. She actively chooses to eat all of her vegetables and her sprouts, and she loves flying as well. Again, when she came to us, she had her wings clipped and she had pretty much no flight muscles because she wasn't given the opportunity to fly. But now she loves it. She goes zipping around the house. She has a great time. So that's amazing. I'm so pleased that we can give her the gift of flight that she didn't have previously. She and also all of the birds are just so incredibly smart as well. They learn their behaviours so quickly, and she's got a whole repertoire that she loves to do. You've probably seen her throughout this video waving and spinning and all kinds of stuff, trying to show off in the hopes of getting some snacks. But yeah, she's been incredible, but she has by no means been an easy bird. She's been very, very challenging and still has her challenges to this day. But I wanted to show you all three of my birds and give you kind of a brief overview of their journeys, because I wanted to point out that it's not always an easy experience to rescue a parrot. But I don't want people to be put off from getting a rescue parrot from this video. I just want to show you some of the realities, because I can't sit there and say that you're going to rescue a bird and they're going to be wonderful and love you immediately, all that kind of stuff. It's just not that simple. Every bird is an individual and we have to treat them as such. So Olive has a way to go yet, but she's doing so well now. I'm so proud of her, and we just absolutely adore all of our birds, and we're so pleased that we have all of them in our flock. And we hope again one day we can expand the flock even further when we have more space, so that we can take on even more birds who need a loving forever home. Now, if you feel like you need some help with your bird's behaviour, having a bit of trouble, whether you've got a rescue bird or a bird from a breeder, or wherever they may be from, please do reach out to us at Best Behaved Birds. We have a parrot behaviour and training consultancy where we help you one-to-one to create a bespoke and tailored action plan. And we've been going for a little while now. We've had loads and loads of wonderful clients, and we've been pleased to help so many different birds from all around the world, because we work globally. So if you would like more information, all of our info is going to be down in the description. We would love to speak to you and try and help you with your birds to create very happy and independent parrots. So in the meantime, thank you so much for watching. Olive, would you like to come and say goodbye? Are you coming? Thank you so much for watching. I hope you found this video interesting, learning about our little rescue parrots. In the meantime, let me know how you and your birds are getting on, as I'd love to speak to you, so leave me a comment down below how you guys are doing. But in the meantime, thank you so much for watching. Take care and see you later. Bye.